That's cool. These headphones have a podcast mode too.
All right, here we go. We are live. You should have got a notification. Let everybody know. All right, we are live in full effect. All right. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Halfdolo. I gain because I'm winning. Much love to everybody out there, man. It is your boy Halfdolo. I just want to tell you guys, this is such an amazing time in this wonderful world of podcasting. The Talk Your Game podcast is live with our third episode. And first of all, I want to just acknowledge the. I can hear some background back there. Is that me? Is that me? Maybe that's me. But I just want to acknowledge that we do have a sponsor for this third episode of Tokyo Game Podcast. It is Level Up Expo 2025. I just got back. Such an amazing time. But we're going to get along and move along with this podcast with our guest, Miss Smurflet06, aka Miss Get Off My Flag, is in the building, y'all. Check it out. That is our guest. How awesome is she? Look at her, y'all. Yes, it is Smurflet06, aka Miss Get Off My Flag. Today is our third episode, and I'm so excited to talk to Smurflet, and she is in the building, y'all. So Smurf,
Hey,
tell everybody how you doing today.
I'm alright.
You all right?
It was a nice day. Got some sunshine.
All right, all right, all right. So let's talk a little bit more about Smurflet06. She is a lady gamer, as you guys have seen. Wonderful, tremendous COD player. She is a killer in the game, and I'm super excited that we get her on our third episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. So, just tell us a little bit more about you and how did you meet me?
Oh man, that's a 16-year-old question. We started playing. I believe it was World at War together.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been Black Ops, but it's been a long time. We've been on and off playing together. We started out with our other clan and been hanging since.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, tell me about your experiences as a lady gamer, especially in Call of Duty. For all of the lady gamers out there, y'all need to listen to this. So let's talk about it.
I mean, it varies. I got all the consoles, so it does vary from console. When I was on Xbox, all the people that were playing with me were pretty cool. PlayStation seems to be a little bit more toxic. But I don't really go into the public lobbies very much because I don't want to deal with toxicity. So I try to stick with myself because I just don't want to deal with that.
I heard that. I heard that. And I just want to make sure that everybody hears me. Can you hear me okay? Mic check one, mic check. How's it sound out there? Well, with that being said, I know that there's a lot of toxicity going on, especially with the fellas. They get destroyed. I mean, the fellas get destroyed by ladies in the game, and they just can't take it. I'm like, look, y'all just got
Oh, they'd be mad.
they get mad, mad, like. So with that being said, so let's talk a little bit about because you got the Xbox and you got the PS5, and is it a
Yeah.
difference between the toxicity in Call of Duty on Xbox and PS5, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah. Xbox seemed to be like a little bit more chill. Um, People on there were a little nicer, and I claned up with a few people a couple times, and we ran a couple games. But PlayStation, I refuse to go in the game lobbies.
And so for those of you out there that are PlayStation fans, for those of you that are Xbox fans, you need to type in the comment section. I don't know how many people are in the comments right now. Hopefully, all the ARK is in here and they're chiming in on this. But listen, ARK is the clan, y'all, a royal kingship, a royal princess. So let me just go ahead and shout out to all of my folk out there in ARK and all the other clans that may want to join the podcast and talk about some of these issues that we have in Call of Duty or just other games like Apex or we're gonna even talk about the Nintendo Switch today. So with that being said, Xbox, I've had an Xbox Smurf and I had a PlayStation. I've had all the PlayStations from PS1 on up to PS5. I had one Xbox and that was it. So, and I gave that away. So, I just
And
want
see,
to
the
say,
only reason I got an Xbox is because I won it in a
see,
raffle.
see. So, for all my Xbox fans out there, listen, I know somebody's going to remix this. So, for my Xbox fans out there, if you hear about this remix from this podcast, listen, I'm going to tell you, I am a PlayStation guy. I really am. And nothing against Xbox, but PlayStation is better in my opinion. You know what I mean? So,
It really is, because I got caught on the PlayStation and the Xbox, the
mm-hmm,
new Black Ops 6.
mm-hmm.
And I was playing it on the Xbox first because it came with Game Pass. It was free. I already paid the subscription, got it all for free. I ended up buying it on my PlayStation, and it plays so much smoother,
See,
less latency. It's way better.
see. So, for those of you that want to fight me, look, Smurflet said the same thing. Okay. Okay. So, with that being said, let me see here. So we talked about Call of Duty. We talked about the Xbox. So tell me about before we get into the Nintendo, because I know you play the Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about some of the issues that you don't like in Call of Duty. Like I know we talked about cheating in the
Oh
first
man.
episode, but any other issues like XP tokens or anything like that, or just your thoughts?
Season 1 was great. Um, Mid season 2, we've got all these issues. Season 3, it's
This Black Ops 6 you're
Danger
talking about.
Close stopped working.
Is this
Yeah,
Black Ops 6? Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Danger Close hasn't been working for me. Every time I equip it, it only gives me one grenade or whatever it is I have equipped. Double XP tokens. I don't understand why they run while you're waiting in the game lobby. It takes up to 3 minutes sometimes. sometimes even longer to find a match. And that's my whole token that you barely ever get, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So yesterday I was running into some issues with when I made new classes, I just prestiged and a lot of my stuff wasn't even showing up, but it was there. Like my grenade slot was empty, even though in the class itself it shows that it's there. My skins don't work. You know, just little things that should be perfect in the game already.
Right. 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 So, with that being said, do you feel like um hmm what do we need to tell I mean, if I could take this podcast and give it to the devs or the CEO of Activision, what would you tell them?
I feel like, no, I don't know for sure if they do or not, but I feel like they need to play their own game
Okay.
and experience these things firsthand. And they
Okay.
also need to start listening more to their customers. Like, we pay good money for these games. Yeah, granted, a lot of these things are free, like all the seasons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 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 been going downhill. This whole new generation of releasing games that are never finished boggles my mind. We never had these issues with the games that were always finished. I
Right.
don't. It's, it just don't make sense to me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So if you was in front of the CEO and he said, "Okay, so Smurf, what else needs to be done?" Would he tell me if I the money's not even an issue? We're gonna do whatever it takes. What would it be, and how many other gamers you think would agree with you on what you're about to say?
I think honestly, just listening to player feedback. I don't feel like they take it seriously or their feedback is being sent to like AI or something that doesn't truly understand what people are talking about or I don't feel like they listen to the critiques that they get from their customers.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. And do you think this leads me into this next question, which is really, really good? I think this right here would um, really make a whole bunch of people in the Call of Duty community and gaming community worldwide say, hey, you need to take some notes from them. What do you think about what happened as we segue into Nintendo? What's his name? Was it Gary Bowser? Who was that guy? The guy that was he charged for stealing merchandise or something like that from Nintendo?
Oh yeah, Gary Bowser. Uh, he actually it was 2023. He it wasn't just Nintendo that he had pirated games from. He also did it from Xbox, but he was a part of a group that stole all these games and then they distributed it to people for free, pirated it. Um, they they ended up getting sued for $14.5 million.
Now that is a
And
crazy amount of money. Whew.
yeah, and they ended up spending some jail time. And it's crazy because when I heard about this, I actually took a look at like gaming platforms and PC is the number one um I don't want to say system because it's not a system, but it's the number one platform that has pirated games.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. That's never going to change. But when it comes to the consoles, Xbox and Nintendo Switch are the most pirated gaming consoles. Um, PlayStation is almost unheard of,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a few people that do get around PlayStation. I don't know if that's like a firewall thing or if it's just because of the system is better protected or whatever it may be. But I just found that really interesting that it's mostly Nintendo Switch and Xbox when it comes to the consoles that are being hacked and modded.
Gotcha. So with that being said, before we go to the next thing, I'd like to tell everybody about our sponsor. Our sponsor for this podcast is the Level Up Expo 2025. For those of you that never been to the Level Up Expo, you have to experience it. I got videos up on all of my platforms and social media. Level Up was absolutely amazing. I was able to experience it from the different side of it. I was a panelist last year, and this year I got to experience this. So if you've never been, this is just the beginning. I have videos of the after party and everything. So shout out to Level Up Expo 2025. Much love to all of the folk over there. Giancarlo Esposito was there, and a bunch of the actors. He was in Far Cry 6. So much love to the Level Up Expo. Thank you so much for a wonderful time. And we are back. We are back with our guest, Smurflet06, aka Miss Get Off My Flag. So tell us about the Nintendo situation. Tell us about your games and what you've played on that. Because we talked about COD. Do you have fun playing the Switch? Do you think a lot of lady gamers like the Switch, or do they play Mario Kart? What's the games that you play?
I mostly play like open world games like Zelda.
Okay.
Um, when I first got it, I was really hooked on Animal Crossing. Um, I do really enjoy like the sports games, and they got this game called the Ring of, what is it called? The Ring of Fire,
Uh-huh.
and you get this like resistance ring, and it literally makes you sweat. Um,
Wow.
uh, it's amazing. I like it. I like the versatility of the game. I like being able to take it with me wherever I go, and still be, playing multiplayer. Or, hey, guy sitting next to me, you wanna play a game real quick, or you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's a good way to get interacted with other people and meet people. I really enjoy it. I think it's before its time though, honestly.
Okay.
I'm really excited to see what Nintendo Switch 2 comes up with. There's been a lot of talk about that bad boy coming out in June, I believe.
Okay. 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 So so would you say what about the pricing for the games? Like the bundles.
Oh,
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Talk about that. Like versus the games for PlayStation. Because I know you had mentioned that the Call of Duty game should be free because of all of these microtransactions and so forth. So
oh yeah.
so what do you think
I
about that?
I mean, in the world of microtransactions, look at Fortnite. That billions of dollars on a free game.
Yes.
Um, they're already implementing, like specifically in Call of Duty, all these little microtransactions. And I'm sure they make billions of dollars too. But, if you're going to profit mostly off of these microtransactions, why not release the game free? How many more people would play the game if it's free and then be enticed to buy all these things because, hey, I didn't spend any money on this game. Let me go ahead and get me a skin or two because, that makes me feel a little bit better on my spending.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I I still like games that don't have these transactions. I think microtransactions are kind of ruining the gaming world, but I mean, it's the world we live in, so we gotta deal with it.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I'm very, very, curious as to what they're gonna do because, we have such a community where everybody is like so upset because these game costs like almost $100 and the microtransactions is almost
Oh
like
my gosh.
20, 30, 40, $50, and then the battle pass like, oh, you get this battle pass, it's an extra $50, so you're paying like $300 plus for a
Mm-hmm.
game, and then you
You
have
only gonna play it for a year or two.
right for a year when you could be spending, you know, uh, just a few bucks on some microtransactions, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you can, if they want to add some more content, they could, but you're not spending $300 on a game now. With the bundles for the Switch, is it comparable? Is it more, or do you think more people spend more money in Call of Duty versus the Nintendo Switch and bundles, or what's your thoughts?
Well, I don't know per se for Call of Duty, but the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle, I think it's pretty decently priced. I'm a little upset at the price of the actual games now, even though they refuse to go strictly digital. Um, I feel like $70 for a Nintendo Switch game is a little bit much. They did up their prices.
Okay.
Regular Nintendo games you can get between $30 and $50. So $70 to $100 is outrageous to me.
Especially
They
when the,
don't make it very accessible for people like of all, demographics.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, especially when you have so many people that are like, this game needs to be for free. you know? Oh my God. It is just so crazy how things have changed. Things have
Oh, it
changed.
has.
Things
We
have
used to get
changed.
games for what, $35 and it was finished. And now you gotta pay to be able to play the game with people. You gotta pay to be able to get the game. You don't even get a physical copy of the game anymore, but the price went up, so it's crazy.
Right. That part. That part. Exactly. And for those of you out there, Smurf is the one that told me, said, Dolo, you got to start playing some different games. Because I stayed on Call of Duty. I'm a COD head and I love Call of Duty. And then when they started just messing this game up, destroying the game, I mean, I really started playing other games. I played Fortnite. I
Yeah, I
did.
was baffled when I saw you on that.
I played Fortnite. Smurf gave me a code for what was the name of that game? That's really nice. I still gotta finish that.
Horizon.
Horizon Forbidden West. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's a really good game. My rest in peace. Shout out to my officer chief. He always like, Dolo, man, you gotta play this Apex, and I never, because it was like cartoonish. I never really wanted to play it, but they got cartoons out on COD now. It's like, oh my god,
Right?
these bundles,
I'm not
man,
understanding.
it is crazy. I'm like, for anybody out there that's listening to this podcast, because there are so many people that have been supporting, and I'm so thankful. Thank you. If you are listening to this podcast, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing, letting people know what we got going on here. And if you would like to support us, there is ways that you can support us. The links are on all the podcast platforms that are available to you, whether you're listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or even iHeartRadio. Like we're on every single podcast platform, and I am so thankful for you. If somebody hasn't told you that they're thankful for you, I'm telling you that I'm thankful for you. Thank you for even just taking the time to listen, because we believe that at some point in time, the CEOs, the devs, the managing partners for these publishing companies will listen to what we have to say, and you are that voice. So I encourage you, if you would like to get on the Talk Your Game podcast and talk about some of these issues that we've talked about, please send us a message, send us a DM. I'm on every single platform. Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on X, I'm on Instagram. Just look for Halfdolo and you'll find me. And is there anything else that you want to talk about, Smurf? I mean, I know that we've covered a lot, and I know
Hmm.
that I'm trying to figure out that there must be something that I'm missing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about clans. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on clans? Let's talk about
Oh man.
that.
When they first started coming out with clans, it was dope. We had like 30 people in the clan. We were always fighting of who got there first. Like it was great. It was a community,
yeah.
even if
Mm-hmm.
like during COVID time, especially, like we had a community. We didn't feel left out. We didn't feel alone. Clanning up is great, man. I've known a lot of my gamer friends for 20 years, man. Like this, I still talk to them. We talk on the daily basis. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's amazing. It's amazing to be in a part of a clan. Always having people riding with you, always joking around, fooling around all night, and y'all a family.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I'm so excited for our clan. Smurf has been riding with us for years. I'm talking about years. You have no idea how big it is to have family such as a clan. So those of you that are in clans, um, gaming clans, that is, that love to, you know, have the great camaraderie and you're playing Call of Duty, Apex, NBA 2K, Madden, or stuff like that. We want to hear from you. We definitely want to hear from you. So if this is your first time hearing this podcast, this is your first time watching this on YouTube, send us a message. Let us know that you heard it. And I will say this: um, we have a 1 million kill giveaway. I have reached over 1 million kills on Call of Duty. And for this episode, we have a Glitz and Glam 26 piece essential collection. I have put it up. I'm going to pull names for everybody that has followed, that has subscribed, that has shared, that has commented Glitz and Glam. I'm looking forward to pulling those names and going live. I will go live once I get these names. I'm gonna put them in a hat and pull them out. Of course, so we're gonna do something special like that. Maybe I even do like something digital. I'm not sure, but I definitely want to do that. I know one of the clan members, Jen, was like, Dolo, I want this. You got to give me this. What we got to do? I'm gonna onesie one you.
Not the
So
1v1.
absolutely. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this episode, this third episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. Much love to everybody out there. We really appreciate you guys. Please tell a friend and let them know that we are here. We are definitely talking your game. We're talking about games and just the scenarios and aspects that goes around it. So we really appreciate you guys. And again, much love to my guest, Miss Smurflet06, aka Miss Get Off My Flag, who's in the building, y'all. Shout out to my sponsor, Level Up Expo 2025. Really appreciate you guys, and we are out. Peace
Peace.
out.